Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the determination of BH curve. In the today's class, I will explain you what is AC magnetic testing. So this AC magnetic testing is used to determine the iron losses. So to determine the iron losses, we will be using this AC magnetic testing. In this AC magnetic testing, there are it is used to determine the iron losses, and iron losses is again divided into two losses, that is eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. So here this test is done in order to determine the iron losses in magnetic material at different values of flux and frequency. So at different values of flux and frequency you can determine the iron losses. So the main thing is AC magnetic testing is used to determine the iron losses. It is also used to separate the hysteresis and eddy current losses. Separate the iron losses, that is hysteresis and eddy current losses, you can separate them. So that means iron losses is equal to eddy current losses plus hysteresis losses, and we know that for hysteresis losses, the hysteresis losses are directly proportional to frequency, whereas eddy current losses are directly proportional to square of the frequencies. So W is equal to KHF plus KEF square. So if you take the F frequency as common, it becomes KH plus KEF. So that means iron losses divided by frequency is equal to KH plus KE into F. So if you draw a graph for this W by F on y-axis and frequency on x-axis, then you will get a straight line of intercept KH. KH is the intercept. That means it is not passing through origin. Instead of passing through origin, there is some intercept. This intercept, how much intercept is there? It is nothing but the hysteresis constant, and KE is determined from the slope of the straight line. KE is the slope of the straight line. So from graph, the values of KH and KE are obtained from intercept and slope. So intercept will give you KH and the slope will give you KE. So as KH and KE are known, if a particular frequency is known, then you can automatically calculate these losses, and also you can calculate the hysteresis losses as well as the eddy current losses. So by this method you can calculate both these things. Now to determine the iron losses, there are three different methods. These three methods are nothing but, one is wattmeter method, second one is bridge method, and third one is potentiometer method. Name itself, it is saying wattmeter method, you need to use a wattmeter, and in bridge method you will be using determining the iron losses by using the different bridges, and in potentiometer you will be using the different potentiometers. Okay, these are the three different methods by which you can calculate the iron losses. So in that first one, wattmeter method. So let us discuss the wattmeter method. So in this wattmeter method, as we know that the first thing is you need to use the wattmeter here. So this is the wattmeter which you are going to use here, and this is the specimen. So this specimen consists of two windings. One primary and two secondary windings are there. Now this primary winding the current coil of the wattmeter is connected, and the pressure coil of the wattmeter is connected to the secondary of the winding. So that means here there is no load here. Here there is no load attached here. That means it is of no load case. So anytime whenever you are conducting a no load test, then the current will be of a small value, and the wattmeter used will be LPF, that is low power factor, that is of value 0.2. So 0.2 low power factor wattmeter is used here. In this low power factor wattmeter, the current coil is connected to the primary winding of the specimen, and the pressure coil is connected to the secondary of the specimen. And for the secondary, there is a voltmeter connected, and to maintain the constant current there is an ammeter provided here. So this is about the construction. To calculate the iron losses, you need to know the readings. For a particular, you need to first set the current value to some lower value. As it is no load circuit, the current will be of small magnitude only. So you need to choose some small magnitude of current and you need to fix at that current. For that particular current, you need to note down the wattmeter reading and also the voltmeter reading, and also you know how much supply you have applied. So suppose P is the wattmeter reading and E is the voltmeter reading and V is the voltage applied. So if you know these three values, then total iron losses is equal to P into E divided by V. So from this formula you can calculate the value of the iron losses. So this is about the wattmeter method. Next, coming to the bridge method. In this bridge method, you can determine the iron losses by using two bridges, that is Maxwell's bridge method or Campbell's bridge method. So by using any of these bridge methods, you can determine the losses. So how you are going to determine? First one, Maxwell's bridge method. So in this Maxwell's bridge method, we have studied about these AC bridges earlier in the previous chapters. So bridge consists of four arms. In these four arms, in the first arm you will be connecting the unknown inductance and resistance. Unknown values you will be connecting in the first arm, and in the remaining arms you can connect the standard values and variable values. So here, so this is the ring specimen. This value of inductance and resistance are not known. This is connected in the first arm of the bridge. Now suppose the inductance, unknown inductance is Ls and unknown resistance is Rs. Let Rs is the unknown resistance and Ls is the unknown inductance. Now when the bridge is balanced, that means there is no current in the galvanometer here, detector here, then the iron losses are determined by using the formula I1 square into Rs minus Rw. So I1 is the current flowing through the ring specimen, Rs is the resistance of the ring specimen, Rw is the winding ring specimen, this winding resistance, the winding which is wound over here, that winding resistance, Rs minus Rw. So I1 square into Rs minus Rw. And again, what is I1? This I1 at balance, it is divided by using the current division rule. I1 is nothing but I into total current into opposite resistance R4 divided by sum of the resistances R3 plus R4. So if you substitute that here, I into R4 divided by R3 plus R4 whole square into Rs minus Rw. So all these values are known. If you substitute all these values in this formula, you can determine the iron losses. So by this formula, you can calculate the iron losses easily. So by bridge method, Maxwell's bridge method, this is the formula. Next, coming to the Campbell's bridge method. So this Campbell's bridge method is very efficient in finding this iron losses. So this Campbell's bridge method consists of two windings. There are two windings wound on the ring specimen. In the ring specimen there are two windings. One is primary winding and the other one is secondary winding. This primary winding is connected through the ammeter and the secondary winding is connected to the galvanometer through a variable resistance R2. R1 and R2 are the variable resistance to change the current, and M is the mutual inductance between the primary and the secondary windings. So this is about the construction. So now the bridge becomes balanced. That means there is no current in the galvanometer only when IR2. This, if you apply KVL in this loop, then it becomes balanced only when IR2 is equal to sum of the voltages across the secondary winding and the E2. So IR2 is equal to EM plus E2. So at that time only there is no current in the galvanometer and such that the bridge is balanced. For this purpose, you can modify only the R2 and this mutual inductance. Either you can vary the M or R2, you can make this bridge balance. Whenever the bridge is balanced, then the galvanometer deflection is 0. At this 0 point only you can calculate the iron losses. So this can be calculated from the phasor diagram here. So this phasor diagram taking the flux as a reference and I is at some angle, then this E2, E1 will be En is equal to N1 by N2 E2, which will be making an angle theta with the current, and E2 will be exactly opposite, and this EM will be somewhat lagging. So the phasor sum of EM and E2 will give you the total drop IR2. Now if the angle is theta here between this voltage and current, the same theta will be here, then cos theta is equal to IR2 divided by E2. So that becomes iron losses is equal to E1 into I cos theta. Iron losses is equal to E1 into I cos theta. We know the value of E1 and I. I is measured by from the ammeter here. And E1 into I into cos theta is nothing but IR2 divided by E2. So all these values are known. By substituting all these values, you can determine the value of iron losses. So this is about the Campbell's bridge method. Next, so and again E1 by E2 is nothing but N1 by N2. This E1 by E2 is nothing but N1 by N2, that is equal to I square R2 into N1 by N2. Next, AC potentiometer method. So in this potentiometer method, as you are saying, potentiometer means there you need to use the potentiometers. Here you are using two potentiometers. This is in-phase potentiometer and quadrature potentiometer. This we have already discussed earlier. So this in-phase potentiometer measures the in-phase component, whereas the quadrature potentiometer measures the quadrature component. Now these potentiometers are connected to the ring specimen. Here also the ring specimen consists of two windings. This is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. This secondary winding is connected to the regulating resistance as well as the standard resistance. So this is the regulating resistance and this is the standard resistance. So this primary is connected to the regulating transformer through these two resistances. Next, this resistance is connected to the in-phase potentiometer and also it is connected to the quadrature potentiometer. So this in-phase potentiometer measures the in-phase component and quadrature potentiometer measures the quadrature component. And these are given to the R1 and R2 through the supply phases I1 and I2. And this galvanometer, whenever the bridge is balanced, the galvanometer deflection will be 0. So to make the deflection 0, you need to make the value of resistance. The drop across this standard resistance should be equal to the drop across the quadrature potentiometer plus in-phase potentiometer. So this is achieved first of all by using any potentiometer. First you need to standardize the circuit. To standardize the circuit, there is a switch here. If the switch is positioned in position 1, then it is standardized by varying the rheostats R1 and R2. You will be standardizing the circuit. Next, if you move the switch to the position 2, then what happens is you can measure the in-phase component and quadrature component. So this in-phase potentiometer gives the in-phase voltage, and this in-phase voltage divided by resistance gives you the in-phase component of current, and quadrature component of current will be equal to quadrature potentiometer reading divided by the resistance. So that means working component of current is equal to reading of in-phase potentiometer divided by resistance, and magnetizing component of current is equal to reading of quadrature potentiometer divided by resistance. So by knowing this in-phase working component IC and magnetizing component I mu, you can automatically calculate the iron losses. So the iron losses is equal to E1 I cos theta, where I cos theta is nothing but the working component. You can find out the value of iron loss. Okay. So E1 into working component of current, whereas working component of current is equal to reading of potentiometer, in phase potentiometer divided by resistance. So by that you can calculate the iron losses using the potentiometer method. So these methods are nothing but the AC magnetic testing. So this AC magnetic testing is used to measure the core losses, that is iron losses. These iron losses can be determined by three methods. One is wattmeter method, second one is bridge method, and the third one is potentiometer method. In a wattmeter method, you are using a wattmeter. By the help of the wattmeter, you will be measuring the iron losses. And in the bridge method, by determining the unknown value of resistances and inductances of the specimen, you can find out the value of the iron losses. In the AC potentiometer method, you can determine the working component of current. From that working component of current, you can determine the iron losses. So this is about the AC magnetic testing. Okay. So iron losses is equal to E1 into working component of current. So this is about AC magnetic testing. Okay. Thank you.